Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mad Nice Morning. I'm your host, Ray Rockburn, coming at you once again every morning between 7 and 8 a.m. to give you some positivity and some tips and some good news to start your day every day. Today's subject is increase your productivity with systems. So, I believe that and this is a recent discovery for me, that you can't really move forward on projects until you put in systems in place that sort of define what you want to accomplish. And because if you don't have something to aim at, then you don't really know what you're going to create. Okay, so I think that systems is key to productivity. Um, So I'm going to talk about three different sort of ideas that will give you a perspective on how important it is to create systems in your life. So first idea is your projects are never complete without a system in place. Second idea is you use systems every day, and I encourage you to use more. And then third idea is the system you create keeps you on track. Okay. So I was always the guy with the big ideas, with lots of enthusiasm. And I always, was pumped about something new that I can create. And I always had tons of sort of projects on the back burner. So they never really came to fruition. And so this is sort of the reason that I started this, because I think that if this is an issue for me, then it's probably an issue for a lot of people. Um, so I had all these ideas, and then I studied a little bit the human mind, and I came to a conclusion that there's three main factors that stop you from creating fully your projects. And one I touched on my previous videos is momentum. And then two is self-talk or self-love. So what kind of talk do you, how do you talk to yourself regarding certain aspects of your life? So you got to be aware of what you're saying or how you're feeling about certain things, and it's that awareness that is the beginning of things, and then you can start to sort of reprogram yourself to have more success, more fulfillment, and it starts with self-love, really. And then the third thing is what I want to talk about today is systematization. Okay, so there's systems in place for essentially everything in the world, and it's what keeps things sort of defined, and it keeps things moving forward, because if there's a system, then people know how to operate within the project or the idea. And so before we get into it, I just want you guys to an 8 a.m. for a 10 to 15 minute video giving you tips and positivity. So first thing to remember about systematization is your projects are never complete without a system in place. So often the problem with projects is that they never feel complete. So let's take a songwriter, for example. They can be working on a song for years, okay? But that songwriter, if they do that, they don't have a system in place or a formula, say a formula for success, okay? And a formula is essentially a system. And so the songwriter would be a lot more productive if they define what they wanted in a quality song. And so basically they would have a checklist saying, does this song have this that I like, this that I like, this that I like? So they would write out a song, and then they would review their formula to see whether or not that song is a hit in their mind. Okay, but it's a system that is not universal. It's a system that's pertinent to that person. Um, and then what happens with systems is it gives you a target to aim at. So you want to define your boundaries and then go for it by checking off bit by bit what you want to accomplish within that project. And then I'll give you an example. This Mad Nice Morning live every morning thing was because I had an idea, was enthusiastic about it. I created a system that I want people to implement in their lives. And by the way, I recommend you check out my previous video. It shows you exactly how to implement that into your Google Calendar and start this Mad Nice Morning system within your life. Okay, so I created that, and now what happens to this project? Well, if I don't put a system in place, it's gonna fizzle away. So that's what I did yesterday a little bit, and this morning as well. And so I created a quick checklist of how I'm gonna create the video and what I need to do, create my thumbnail before I go live. And the system's important for me as well because I don't want to be spending all this time on it every day. I want something that's straightforward. I can create it fast, and I have content for people. And if I don't do that, then I'm a little bit lost, and I'm working a bit on it here, a bit on it there. But the system really allows me to crush out a project. And so that's, you know, this project, it lives on thanks to systematization. Okay, so that's the importance of creating systems. So the number 2 thing to remember is you use systems every day, and I encourage you to use more. So some people might think that they don't have the ability to create lists, but I think it's a natural human trait. We're such creative beings that automatically we see something and we start to formulate, you know, in our minds the steps that took to get that into fruition. And so we create lists for ourselves without even knowing, or not lists but systems for us, like for example, when it's grocery time, you make a list in your mind, a lot of people, but if you want to be really productive, write that on a piece of paper. And then, and also if you have a lot to do on the weekends, you create yourself a list if you want to be highly productive. And these are systems that you are creating yourself. And then here's a little pointer that I want to tell anybody is if you're ever feeling stuck in your life regarding anything, pull out a piece of paper and then write, what do I need to do about blank? Okay, and start creating a list, a checklist, and then that'll help you get unstuck. Okay, you're essentially creating a system to get yourself out of a difficult situation. But if you don't create this system, you might dwell in this hard situation, but you put a system in place, you're going to get yourself out faster than ever. And that's why systems are good for productivity. And then the number 3 thing to remember is the system you create keeps you on track. And so this is something I discovered recently. It's pretty cool. It's a business idea concept where if you are able to help one person in the world and they pay you for it, then your potential is limitless to make a lot of money. Okay, so if you can help one person and they pay you, you can help 1,000,000 person and they pay you. Okay, so and that's for any and all businesses. Businesses serve people. Okay, whether you like to think that way or not, you're getting service from every and all businesses that exist. But what do those businesses do for you? They keep you on track for whatever you need. And they put a system in place that they present to you, and they help you out with this awesome system, and then you pay them for it because they are so organized. Okay. But what I'm saying is, well, let's give some examples. A chiropractor, uh, come back in these many weeks for your next adjustment. Okay, so there's a system for your health there. Okay, and you're paying them because you want to stay healthy, and they put a system in place to keep you healthy. And then, so a film producer, let's do the film like we did the other film that was successful. So they have a formula for success. Okay, and why would they deviate tremendously from that formula? And you notice that from producers, a lot of their movies are very similarly constructed. You know, like you take the Coen brothers, they all have that same sort of feeling. And although their scripts are vastly different, they have a formula and it's obvious, and they stick to it, and that's why they're so phenomenally successful, because they have a defined system for their product. And then, like, take a hairdresser. We'll cut and color your hair every 6 weeks. And so this is a system for maintenance. And you're paying those people for their organization. And so I'm just encouraging you to create systems in your life to keep your life on track. And so so that you're organized in your life. And so start with making lists about things that you're not sure about in your life. Start making lists. You'll be more productive. You'll move forward in your life. And that's basically it. So the 3 things to remember is your projects are never complete without a system. You use systems every day, whether you know it or not. And I encourage you to use more. And then number 3 is the systems you create keeps you on track. So if you like what you're hearing, please leave a comment, hit the subscribe and the bell. I'm here every morning between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. I always say from. So if you subscribe to my channel, you get a proven system for moving your life in the right direction with my Mad Nice Morning system, and daily motivation to feel good first thing in the morning. You get a free mentor and coach through me. So write down any comments or questions, and I'm going to pay attention to you. You get a new perspective in a new world, and you'll get access to cool resources, programs, courses, events that I will promote now and again. So thank you very much. Have yourselves a fantastic day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.